Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and you're watching CGHOW video, and today I have created this cool looking effect, and this is entirely copied from a already created effect. So I found this reference here and you can see this is almost same. I tried to match the quality, but I like the textures because these textures are very fine created, but my texture is little blurry and it's not proper good looking textures, but I try my best to do it in very short time. And this, if this is a Pinterest, but if I click on this post, it is redirectory originally here on real time VFX, and this Howl guy studio whatever it is created, and I searched this also on YouTube, so it has a YouTube channel for Unity tutorials. So I think this is also Unity effect. And one thing that I just noticed, I forgot to create one element, and that is these trails rotating around. So I will just create that now, and then you can see how I do that. So let's start this tutorial. First of all, subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on bell icon so you will receive all new video notification. So first, in this one I will create these trails because I forgot these. If I right click on it and take a GIF scrubber, I can now check the per frame. See, I am talking about this. So I forgot to create these trails. It has a ribbon and it has some particle spawning from it. So I will do that now. So in my effect, this is my original effect, and I just copy any element like this one, copy and paste. This will be my source for the trail, so I will isolate this and call it source. I'll delete this thing. I don't need custom alignment, custom facing. I will delete this also, not scaling, and I'll just use two particles, spawn burst, two particles, and I will just use it once and make the life infinite, and then I will make the size of particles maybe 10 and make it little brighter so you can see, or maybe I will make it 30. You can see that. Okay, now to rotate it like this, you can use lots of things. Like if I take the Torus location, and now I can just make it 0, and you can see two particles, but every time it will randomly spawn, so I will use the direct, and in my U I will multiply this with execution index. So now every time the position will be the same, this will be the opposite of each other every time. Okay, now with this node you can animate this. You can, it will not work because this is just spawning once and the location will not animate, because if I animate it, particle should continuously animate it. So for now what I'll do, I'll just make it 0, turn this off, and I have these two particles, so I will just use the vortex velocity, and these are rotating, and if I isolate it, and let's make the different color so it will be visible, like green. So now you can see, and I will increase the radius, maybe 200, 300. Now it's perfect. Okay, and the position, these are little higher, height of this character. So in here these are on ground and these are very far. I want here, so I will reduce this to 250 and initial, or you can offset it here in your Torus like 100. So now I think still very far, so I will make it 200 and this maybe 60. Now it's okay. And now I need trail, so first I will duplicate this and this will be my trail. And instead of using event handler, I will use something different. So in this one, first I will use this infinite. I don't need spawn burst, I don't need Torus, not vortex, not Torus, and I will use here in emitter update spawn from other emitter. Write the name here, source, hit enter, fix, and it will generate one more module here. And you can see already spawning particles, and life is infinite, so I will make it specific like this, and I will use size, and let's use this curve so it will scale it down. And in these trail particles there is also some curl noise for random movement, and the size is random, so I will use maybe 2 and 15 or maybe 25 or 10. Then I'll use curl noise, okay, and now I can increase the life if I want. Okay, done. And now these particles are slightly pinkish and white, so I will make it again here. And now we need ribbon trail, and we don't need this source, so I will just make the size 0. So we have these particles like this, and I will just duplicate this trail, copy, Control W. I don't know why it's so slow, and this will be my ribbon. And for ribbon, first I need a material, so I will make M ribbon, and then I need a texture, so I will take maybe, I have this blurred noise, so I will use this on planar, and I will pan this also. Then I will take a texture coordinate mask, and invert this, then use the power pressing E to make it more, multiply these together, so you will have noise like this. Then I'll take the particle color, this will be my emissive, this will be my opacity, make this additive, unlit, and then I'll just edit the tiling of this. Okay, I'll use it. Browse this, and here I will delete this sprite renderer. I'll take the take the ribbon, connect, and now I will just isolate this source and this ribbon, and you can see already ribbon is spawning, but there is issue because doesn't work on random life, and then it need in here need to assign this ribbon ID, and then in source also, if there is problem, just tick on this, and now you can see it's already working, and I can just decrease the curl noise and increase the size of ribbon. I'll take initialize ribbon, make it 20, and I think curl noise should be almost 0, and then life I will make 2, 10, and also you can use the ribbon width and use the curve. So now I have ribbon trail also, but the color is very faded, so I will just make it it's 1000, but it's very faded. Let me actually, this texture is very faded, so you need to increase the alpha. And oh, I'm editing the particle color. I need to change the ribbon color here. So, but these particles are really burning and scale is very big, so I'll use 10 and 2, and I'll use it as 100, and curl noise very much, so I'll just make 50, spawn rate maybe 20. Now it's perfect. So we had also trails, and this is my final. And trail I have already created from scratch for you guys. Now the rest of effect we will create from scratch. So I had this texture, and it has 3 channels, this R, this green, and this blue. So what I did, let me make a folder, test, and M test shape, and I'll just use this texture, this one, because it has 3 channels, and I want these 3 channels for different rings. So I don't want to make 3 different materials. So you can use this channel with 1 parameter. So you take this if node, and it has these 3 conditions. So you just link your 3 textures, 3 channels, and then these condition is between A and B. So let's make your A anything like 0.5, and then your B will compare this thing. So let me show you. So if my A and B is equal, means it's 0.5, and I make this 0.5, this should show you this green channel. And if A is greater than B, means after 0.5, 0.6 to anything like 1, it will show you the red channel. And if A is less than B, like 0.49 or 0.4 or 0, anything less than 0.5, it will show you the 3rd channel. So this is how you can switch between these channels. And I'll just take the particle color, additive only two-sided. So I got this, and now I will create a FX here, and I'll just show you very quickly and very roughly, because I'll show you my original effect also, so you will have idea. So I will use this same material here, and then I don't need these things, I'll delete, and I'll use the burst, maybe 10 particles, particle size constant maybe 100, color maybe red for now. So I have this red, and I'll use the custom alignment because this is camera facing. And one more thing, make the loop once and life infinite. Okay, so it will be there always. And then I'll use the torus, my favorite location, make it 0, and make the distribution direct, multiply, or you can directly connect with execution index. It distribute equally, and but rotate it differently, so custom facing. And now I will take align sprite to mesh orientation. Okay, and if I want to face on Z, these are Z facing, but rotate it randomly, so I'll just make it unset. Now these are facing on Y, I want face to the center, so for that I'll take the initial rotation. And if you are struggling with these facing things and all, you can just go to YouTube, just go to CGHOW channel, and you will find this video. This 20 minutes is all about sprite rotation, alignment, facing, and I think after this you will not have any issue with sprite rotation or anything. So watch this video. And so in initial mesh rotation, I'll just connect this to torus tangent, and now these all are facing to the center, and this torus size I can change. So first emitter I got like this, then I have the second emitter which is slightly small. And one more thing that I did, and this is not here in this effect, because these elements are just static, nothing happening with this. But in my original effect you can see these are pulsating, see, slightly pulsating. So I like that. So to do that, you can just take the scale color, and in here you can make this float, then take the sine, and now these all are pulsating together. So I'll just change this to normalized edge. Now it's randomly, but it's making it disappear also, so I'll make this bias 2. So now these are pulsating, and I will just randomize this period 0.1 and 1, so this will randomly pulsate. Okay, now I will just duplicate this, and this is exactly same, so I will reduce the torus size, and then I'll take the dynamic parameter. By default is 0, I'll make 0.5 1. So I got, actually I needed 1 here in this one, this will be 1, and this will be 0.5. which one is there? This one. Okay, and I can reduce the size, then I can again duplicate this and again reduce the size, and this time 0.5, and again reduce the size, and this time 0. So this is how I create layers, and you can just adjust this gap between them with torus location. So I'm just doing it quickly to show you how I just duplicated and change things. And if you want to rotate something, you can just go to torus and just rotate like this. Okay, and after this, what element I have in my original effect, let me show you. So this is my original effect. So in starting I did the same thing. Okay, spawn some particles in torus location, and these are the setting. Then I duplicate it, change the size of torus, and change the dynamic parameter to switch the texture. Again duplicate it, change this, again duplicate it, and then I have these petals. So to make this petal, what I'll do, I'll just duplicate this again, and this time in this one I'll use this petal material and mesh. This is the mesh, this is actually curved mesh, curved planar. So I'll use this mesh here. I'll delete this and take the mesh. Then I'll use the same material because it is very simple, and I'm just using it SubUV, this SubUV 4x4, and I'm eroding this, but I'm not using it because I created this material for some other effect. So I'm just using it directly. Don't think about these because I'm not using these parameter. So think about just you have a texture, you have directly connected, and you can just use. So I'll just use this here, and this is 4x4, so I'll just put that here. Animation, random frames, 4x4, 16 frames, and I'll change the size of mesh to 20 for now. And you can see these petals are aligned like that, and it can make a very good effect, but I don't need that for now. So I will just delete these things, and I have torus location, and I don't need this direct distribution. And also in dynamic parameter I don't need to erode, so I'll just use this dynamic parameter. I'm not using the values for now. And then I will take the initial rotation and randomize the rotation, random vector 0.5, and I'll just reduce the torus look, and then I'll use the velocity from point, and also make the life finite, and make this infinite, and I'll use the spawn rate. I'll delete this burst and maybe 20 particles like this, and I want slightly go up, so this velocity from point, move this down slightly, and you can decrease this thing. And color is of course pink, you can change that. And then I'll use the scale mesh and make this float and curve, so scale in, scale out. And then you can also add the curl noise for random movement. These are just going very straight, so you can do that. Okay, so after this you have these petals. Then what is the next? This core, this is just a radial ramp that I'm facing, so I'll show you in my original. Then this is duplicated version of this, just it has different texture. Again same, so I think I don't need to do this all again. I'll just show you my original effect because the main part I have already shown you, and trails we have created. So petal setting, I'm spawning 50 particles. You can see random rotation, SubUV 15 frame, velocity from point, torus location, some curl noise, same mesh, same material. So I have just created it. So now core. So for this core I have a radial ramp, and in this radial ramp I have different things. So if you see this one, I'm distorting the UVs, so, and I have a parameter for this noise texture is panning, so I have a control of speed, this noise texture has tiling, so I have a control of tiling, and then it's going to distort the UVs of this, and I have a parameter. So if I make it 0, it is just a radial ramp. If I make it 1, distorting completely. And because when you distort it completely, it will cut from the edge, so I again multiply it with the radial, so it will always a radial. Okay, and I don't need this much distortion, so I use this material here, and this is custom alignment using and custom facing. Spawning 10 particles, size is 60, color is pink, and aligning on Z direction, and also sprites are rotating, and dynamic parameter you can see distortion is 50, tiling is 1, and speed is 1, and density is 1. I'm not editing all these things. Then I duplicated this core element and just change the material. It has very simple material, this texture. Okay, very simple, and it's just rotating, same thing. Then again I duplicated this ring, and instead of that material I use this. So this is the same type of, these nodes are duplicated from radial ramp. This noise texture just panning, I have a control of speed, tiling, and this distortion, and this is distorting this ring. So to make 2, I am spawning 2 particles, and here in size I am using the lerp between 2 sizes, and my alpha is execution ID. So because particle are just 2, so execution ID is 0 and 1. So if the execution ID is 0, it's using one size, and if the execution ID is 1, it's using the different size, so 2. And these are rotating, and this is the distortion, you can see. Then I again duplicated this one, and I'm just using the curve to scale it out, and spawn rate is 1, and this is infinite, so it's just scaling it out and fading with these curves, alpha curves. Then I duplicated this, and this time it is not custom aligned, it is camera facing, and it has just a radial ramp. And if I increase the alpha for now, you can see I just made a glow. I have a hemisphere. If I preview this, so my particles are emitting from this hemisphere, and it's just a radial ramp, it's just fading in and fading out. And I'll make my alpha again 0.5, and then again I duplicated this glow, and same thing, just using the custom alignment, and remove the sphere location and use this alignment because I wanted this for the ground. This is for ground, you can see how it is, and this is for the overall glow for the character. Then I have this ring which is scaling and distorting. Then I have this ring which is just distorted and rotating. Then this ring just rotating, this core rotating, then petals, then I have these elements which is duplicate version and change something. And one thing I will change still, that is trail particle color, and I spawn 50 and reduce the size. Now it's good. So this is my final, and that's it, and I'll put this file for download. You can download this, and thanks to the original creator of this effect for the inspiration, for the idea and creativity. So bye bye, take care.